introduction and definition of cybersecurity, inception of cybersecurity, common terms used in cybersecurity. There are some types I will discuss. Components of cybersecurity. What are the career opportunities in cybersecurity? Specializations in cybersecurity, and finally, some preventive measures. Okay, let's start. What is cybersecurity, by the way? Why do we need security? See, nowadays, people are getting connected to internet in a wide range, and they are not getting proper security. Due to lack of awareness, many people, most of the people are becoming victims to cyber attacks. They don't know, they don't have the knowledge to protect the data. They are connected to the internet and sharing whatever the files they have openly in the internet, but they don't know how to secure those files and how to get saved from the attacks. As a result, many people are becoming victims to cyber crimes, which is a serious issue because it's like robbing all the personal data of all the citizens of a country. Let us see about formal definition. What does the term cyber actually means is it's nothing but something related to computers, information technology. Then the term cybersecurity, we can simply say it as the security being provided to the devices which are connected online. In simple words, it is a service, it is a security service which offers security to online devices. I mean, the devices which are connected to the internet. Here, the main thing is internet. We should get connected to internet. Let's have a look into the history of how the cybersecurity came. In the early 90s, a person named Bob Thomas, he once realized that whenever we send a file or something in the internet, it needs to travel through some hops, some nodes across the network. So what he found is wherever the file goes, it will have something, some like it leaves some mark on the every node it reaches. Using that idea, he created a program named Creeper, which prints the message, "I am the Creeper, catch me if you can," on the every node it visits, which is something like a virus. Normally, virus what it does is wherever it goes, it either destroys the system resources or prints some messages. Here, this Creeper also doing the same thing. Wherever it goes in the network, whatever the nodes or hops it visits, it leaves this message, "I am the Creeper, catch me if you can." Later, a person named Ray Tomlinson, this is the guy who invented email, then he designed another program called Reaper, which we can also call it as first antivirus, because this program Reaper, it chases the creeper and destroys it. Okay, this is something like an antivirus, Reaper. In the history, Creeper and Reaper are analogous to cyber attacks. These we can even say these are the first cyber attacks. This is a demo of Creeper. See, finally it prints the message, "I am the Creeper, catch me if you can." Now let us see what is a hacker, by the way. A hacker is, in simple words, a person who breaks into other systems without their permission. He doesn't have the authorization to enter into other systems, but he somehow gains the administrative controls and enters into other systems. Hacking is completely illegal because no one has the right to visit other systems without the permission, right? So hacking is completely illegal. Now we have three types of hackers so far. This white hat hacker is nothing but the hacker who performs hacking for the sake of good. He will perform hacking so that he can come to know what are the loopholes present in the system, which can help him to rectify. Black hat hacker is a person who performs with a bad intention. He doesn't have any good intention. He completely performs with a bad intention, by sometimes for financial sake or sometimes with some revenge. But this gray hat hacker, he is not neither completely white nor black hat hacker. He sometimes behaves as white hat and sometimes he might be black hat. He is both. He will be having both the properties. What is a malware, by the way? Malware is nothing but malicious software in simple words, which actually means that this software should not be there in our system because in the name itself, malicious software. It, this software is not healthy for our system. It can destroy all our system resources. It can capture all our personal private information and may send to someone else. Nothing but attacker. Cyber criminals usually use these kind of malwares so that they can take revenge on the attacker, on the victim, or they can threaten him for some financial benefits. These are some types of malwares: virus, adware, rootkit, spyware, ransomware, Trojan horse, remote access, malware, worm, keylogger. As per my knowledge, ransomware is the most powerful because WannaCry ransom is one of the ransomware which caused a lot of destruction to big companies in the world like Sony, Nokia, these kind of companies. They got affected by this WannaCry ransomware. What happened was all their personal files, not only personal files, even the customer data also, attackers encrypted them and they demanded a lot of money so that they can again decrypt the data. This we can say is due to some security breaches in their network, or they might not be having proper security mechanisms. That's another issue. Okay. Based on the intensity of attacks, we can classify attacks into two types: active and passive attacks. In active attack, what happens is the attacker directly modifies the message content. The message is being sent from source to destination, or we can say sender receiver. So the message which is sent from the sender will be sent to receiver. The attacker in active attack, he modifies the message content and the receiver will come to know that the message content is modified. And in active attack, these are easy to identify because they may cause live damage to system resources also. System resources means whatever the hardware components they have, even they also get damaged sometimes. But in passive attack, the attacker, he sits silently. He just copies the message contents without altering them. As a result, this attack is not that much powerful. Of course, this is powerful, but not easy to identify. We cannot come to know that this attack happened. And the system resources, he doesn't damage. He just alters. He just copies the message content, which is also not so acceptable. Now let us briefly look into types of cyber criminals. These are first type is these criminals, they just perform crimes for the sake of recognition. They just want to get recognized everywhere in the society. These are like for sake of fun, we can say. Cyber criminals, second type are, they're not interested in recognition, but they intentionally perform attacks. They might be psychological perverted people and sometimes financially supported hackers. The type 3 is these people are insiders, which means suppose we have an organization, X organization, and a person who was the ex-employee of that organization has some quarrel with that organization and he intentionally want to destroy that organization. As he will be knowing all the secrets of that organization, he can easily perform attack on that organization so that he can damage. These type of criminals are insiders. They are within the organization. Briefly, we can classify cyber crimes into these categories: against individual, against property, against organization, and against society. Now let us see about the components of cybersecurity. Components means what aspects constitute as a whole. in cybersecurity. First thing is critical infrastructure. Infrastructure is nothing but what are the components, what are the hardware components also we have. Those also will, these components will also be having equal importance, because if someone hacks our CCTV camera, we don't know that that person hacked our camera, but he will capture all our data, and he can even, he will do whatever he wants because he is ill-minded. That's why we should also have some restrictions on our architect, our infrastructure also. Should properly maintain them. Cloud security means we, what nowadays everything is being connected to internet and everything is getting stored into the cloud. Cloud computing is in demand nowadays. So we should have security to our cloud also, because whatever the users we will be having in our organization, they will be using our cloud environment. If we don't provide much security, the users which we have, they may get some issues. Internet of Things is nothing but connecting everything to the internet. What are the hardware components we have in our home also, like TVs, fans, refrigerator, everything, so that we can remotely control them, as we will be having connect, as we'll be having access to them because they're connected to internet. We can remotely control them, like switching them on, turning them off. If the attacker gains control of this thing, then he can even play with us. Network security is nothing but whatever the network we have in our organization, we should protect it by installing some proper firewalls or taking some server hardening tips. Finally, whatever the organization it might be, the employees of that organization should be trained in such a way that they should not become victims to cyber crimes, because if the employees get victims, the entire organization will get affected. So the employees should also have some knowledge on cybersecurity. These are some career opportunities in the area of cybersecurity. Security architect, consultant, penetration tester. Security consultant is a person who protects organizations data. Penetration tester is nothing but an ethical hacker, we can also say. He performs hacking to find the weaknesses or vulnerabilities in the systems which attackers can use to perform the attack. Chief Information Security Officer is the highest level job position among all the career opportunities in cybersecurity. He can even have his own security measures because he is the superior of all the security officers. Cryptographer is a person who writes codes that hackers cannot crack. Of course, the main theme of cryptography is that thing, converting a message into some unreadable format, which we call it as encryption. We do that thing by having some key, which is private between the sender and receiver. The receiver will only can only read the message by decrypting using that private key which we have. See, these things, security analyst, security engineer, and security architect, they seem to be analogous. What they do is they just take care of whatever the security systems, but the main difference is uh, their experience. Security engineer is the entry level position. After that, security analyst, and finally, you can say security architect. Now, these are the specialization areas in cybersecurity. Some research areas also. These are now in demand. Application security, cryptography, cyber laws, forensics, network security, pen testing, policy management and governance, risk assessment, architecture. Application security is nothing but providing security to whatever the applications we have. Cryptography is nothing but the process of encryption and decryption. Cyber laws is nothing but making laws so that attackers will get punished. Forensics is after the attack happened, what are the steps we should take so that we can recover from that attack and we can even trace the attacker. Network security is whatever the network we are using, we should provide proper security to the network. Penetration testing is nothing but ethical hacking, you can say. These people perform hacking with the permission of the organization and will identify whatever the loopholes present in the organization. Policy management is what for any organization, they will be having some cyber security policies so that they should not become victims to cyber crimes. Risk assessment is uh, assessing the risk. I mean, judging the risk, whatever took place after the cyber security. Security architecture, I think we already discussed in this slide. These all things. Finally, these are some common attacks. Malware we already discussed. Phishing, man in the middle, denial of service, SQL injection, zero-day exploit, cross-site scripting. All these attacks, we can say they cause much destruction. We should stay away from these attacks. I mean, we should get protected from these attacks. Finally, I would like to share some preventive measures, common preventive measures. We should have strong passwords, which consists of 8 characters, a minimum of 8 characters, a capital letter, undercase, small letters, numbers, as well as special characters. Securing our computer by installing proper antivirus softwares. We can even install anti-spyware softwares that they can block spyware attacks. I mean, anti-spyware softwares. In social media, we should take preventive measures. Like, for example, whatever the social media we have, Instagram or Facebook, they are providing their own security measures, like two-step authorization, those kind of things. We better enable them so that we can get saved from these attacks. We should secure our mobile devices by having strong passwords and not by install. We should not install any suspicious applications also. We should protect our data by not sharing what are the personal information we have to others. Our wireless network, whatever the Wi-Fi network or anything we have, we should have strong passwords so that we can secure our network. We should even protect our e-identity. I mean, we should not get exposed much online because due to our online activity also, the attacker may come to know our passwords even. Finally, we should avoid being scammed. For example, we should not open any suspicious or malicious links which we get to our mobile messages. We should have some awareness so that we can get saved from all these things. Finally, thank you.